Hey YouTube friends, it is so great to be back with you with another slow vinyasa flow. Like the name, it's going to be very mellow today, perfect for those days where you're just feeling a little bit low in energy, but you know that you will feel better after you move, but you want to take it slow. This is perfect for you. We will be working up into a few standing postures, but these are going to be really short. Most of the time we're going to spend down here on our mat. We're also sitting in the beautiful Hahei. As you can see, the horizon just goes on forever, which is quite magical. If you ever visit New Zealand, please come here. I spent most of my childhood here. It's just such a great small town. Anyway, we will get started on our backs in a ball. So roll yourself down. And let's just start by drawing the knees up into the chest, clasping the hands together. We will be here just for a couple of minutes to breathe, to settle in. If this feels quite strong, a little bit too tight, then please feel free to release the feet and find another position that feels comfortable for you. And as you are here hugging yourself, perhaps you can ask, what do I need? What do I need most right now? And how can I give that to myself? It's sometimes a little bit tricky to prioritize ourselves, to give ourselves some time, some space to really tune into us. So many other things can take priority, whether that's other people, work, other things that you know isn't important, but you choose to prioritize it over your practice. I've been there, I've done that, I still do that. Perhaps all you need today is just to show up. Not worrying about the outcome or what it looks like, just to be here. Start to find your 3-part breath, so breathing into the chest, the ribs, the belly. Maybe your ujjayi breath, the constriction of the back of the throat. And letting this breath ground you here in this moment right now. One more breath. Release the hands from around your legs. Cross the right foot over your left thigh. Press the right knee away and see without the use of the hands, can you draw the left knee a little bit closer towards your chest? Press the right knee away using the muscles around your hips. And then start to draw the hands in between the thigh, clasping around the left thigh to pull that leg in. Perhaps a little rock from side to side feels good here. If your right elbow lands on the right thigh, perhaps you can encourage it to press out. Let's take one more breath. And then release the hands around the thigh. Keep the feet exactly where they are. Take the left hand around the right foot. Take the right hand towards the side. And then slowly start to drop the left knee and the right foot towards your left. Eye gaze turns down your right hand. See if you can press the right knee away. So you're finding just a gentle twist through the spine, but quite a big stretch through the hip. Fill up your lungs with breath. Maybe an exhale of the mouth, out of the mouth to let anything flow through. Find the way through center. Keep the feet exactly where they are, but maybe slide the right foot down the left knee slightly. Take the hands, both hands wide, and then start to draw both knees over towards the right. So you're finding a staggered 90-90, but the right foot is on top of the left thigh. If this becomes quite a lot for the lower back or anywhere up the spine, please release that foot. The knees don't have to be touching the ground here. If you want a bit more, try draw your eye gaze down your left side body. And then find your way back through center. We'll try that on the other side. So start by drawing the left foot around the top of the right thigh. Draw the left knee out. Using no hands, see if you can pull that right knee in a little bit closer towards the chest. And then thread the hands through, clasping the back of the right thigh. Pull the thigh a little bit closer towards you. Invite the left knee out with your elbow. Maybe the eyes are closed here. And keeping the gaze internal. Use one final breath, see if you can pull the leg in a little bit closer. And then release the hands from around the thigh. Keep the legs exactly where they are. Take the right hand around the left foot. Take the left hand towards the side and draw the right knee and the left foot towards the right. Press the left knee away from you. See if you can turn your eye gaze down the left shoulder. Take one more breath. And find your way back through center. Draw the left knee in slightly. Keep the left foot on the outside of the right knee. Extend both arms wide. Try draw both knees down towards the left side. Eye gaze turns down the right hand. Any point you want to uncross your legs, please go for it. The left foot is just putting some weight onto the right knee to encourage it down. If you want a little bit more here, think about squeezing your glutes and drawing your tailbone towards the knees, hips towards ribs, while keeping the knee down to lengthen through the right quadricep and hip flexor. One more breath. And then find your way back through center. Let's extend both of the legs up tall, hands by the sides. Lower back is pressed towards the ground. Slowly start to draw the right foot down towards the ground so it hovers off the top of the mat, and then bring it back up. Let's try the other side. So inhale to lower the left leg. Exhale, come back up. One more time each side. Inhale, lower. Keep the lower back close towards the ground. Exhale to come up. Inhale to lower. Exhale to come up. Let's try the side this time. So inhale to draw the right foot towards the side. Try keep the left foot stacked where it is. Exhale to come back up. Inhale, left foot out. You can always bend your knee here. Exhale to come back. One more time each side. Inhale, right. Both hips on the ground. Exhale, up. Inhale, left. Exhale, up. Option just to do one leg at a time, or if you want to try double leg, see if you can inhale as you lower both legs to a hover off the ground. Keep the lower back off close to the ground. Exhale as you come up. Let's try the side. Inhale towards the side. Exhale, come up. One more time. Inhale, lower. You're probably not going to go as low as your single leg. Exhale, come up to the side. Inhale. And Then exhale, well done. Bring the feet behind the hips. Press through the heels to draw the pelvis up first, then rippling through the spine to find your Setu Bandhasana. Draw the knees in slightly, squeeze the glutes, and then just bring your hands up over your head, finding a full body extension, breathing into puff up through the chest, and then exhaling to come down. Draw the knees into the chest, take a little rock to get up to your sit bones. We're going to extend the right leg out long. Left foot comes to the inner thigh. Start by bringing the hands behind your back. Come up onto fingertips. Use your breath in to try lift up tall. As you exhale, can you keep the spine long as you walk yourself forward? Probably not a huge heap. We're going to try to keep that lower back long. If you're quite flexible and you can keep going forward, maybe your hands come to the side. Let's try one more breath. See if you can draw the right toes towards you. Nice. Take the left hand out, right hand behind. Use your in-breath to lift. As you exhale, can you twist towards the right slightly? Come back through center. Take the right hand forward, take the left hand back. Take a big breath in to lift up. Exhale, twist towards the left. Inhale, come back through center. As you exhale, fold over your right leg. Drawing the chin in towards the chest slightly. And then finding your way back through center. Let's swap to the other side. So extend the left leg long, draw the right foot in towards the leg. Start by having the hands behind you. See if you can press through the fingertips to lift yourself up tall on an inhale. As you exhale, ground your hips towards the ground. Perhaps you start to walk forward. Maybe even just standing up, sitting upright is enough here. The left knee can always be bent. Draw the shoulder blades back so we're open through the collarbones. Let's try one more breath. And then reach the right fingertips forward, left fingertips behind you. Take a big breath in to lengthen. As you exhale, gentle twist towards the left. Come back through center, extend the left fingers long. Take the right hand behind you, take a big breath in. As you exhale, gentle twist toward the right. Come back through center. Let's bring both of the soles of the feet together. Hands behind again. Draw the knees down towards the ground using the muscles in the legs. Come up onto fingertips. You might be a little bit higher. If you need a bit more space, you can bring the feet out. Take a big breath in. Draw the chest through. Lift the eye gaze. Draw the shoulder blades onto the back body. As you exhale, round through the upper back. Curl in. Inhale to open. Draw the shoulder blades back. As you exhale, round. Perhaps you draw the knees a little bit lower. One more time. Inhale. And then exhale. Walk the hands out in front. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, fold yourself forward. Perhaps the hands come onto the insides of the foot or the feet or the ankles. Elbows might come onto the insides of the legs to encourage the knees down. Try one more breath. And then walking yourself back, we're going to take the feet out a little bit wider. Okay, we're still in our Baddha Konasana. We're going to find a few twists here. So again, see if you can lift up tall. Take a big breath in. Then start by taking the right hand maybe around the shin or just on the ground. Left hand comes behind. Exhale to twist. Inhale back through center, turn to the other side. Exhale to twist. Draw the right shoulder back. Lift up tall through the spine. Come back through center. Let's find a few neck circles. Maybe the hands come behind. Maybe just start by drawing one ear down towards the shoulder. And perhaps you start to take a few rotations through the head, drawing it down, then around. Just moving in a way that feels really good here. Also, if this Baddha Konasana position doesn't feel as nourishing as you'd like it to be, perhaps you just come into a Sukhasana, a cross-legged position. Let's try one more breath. And then when you're ready, I'm just going to cross over the ankles, place the hands out in front, fingertips wide. Let's tuck onto the toes and go straight back into our Adho Mukha Svanasana. So lifting our hips up, bending the legs, drawing the chest through. Perhaps just making some movement here that feels nourishing, that feels curious. Becoming acquainted with this movement today. How does it feel to be in your body right now? You're not judging whatever comes up. One more breath to find a moment of stillness. Soften the knees, draw the heels down, lift the tailbone. Use your next in-breath to walk yourself up towards the top of the mat. You're going to take our feet wide. So if you've got a mat, take them about mat width distance. If you don't, that's okay. Let's bend the left knee generously. Left hand comes towards the ground. Take a big breath in to sweep the right hand high. Lift your eye gaze here. And maybe you stay here, or maybe you take the right hand behind the left hip. Lifting your eye gaze. And then swapping directions, bringing the right hand towards the ground. Take a big breath in to sweep the left hand high. As you exhale, bring the left hand behind. As an option, clasp towards your right inner thigh. Just using this bind as a way to twist and turn even deeper. Bring the hand back down towards the ground. Draw the heels and toes out slightly. Take a big breath in, halfway lift. As you exhale, bend the knees. Find your Malasana squat. And your hands might come to your heart center. Press the knees out with your elbows if you have them. Otherwise, you can always keep the hands on the ground. Let's take a little shift from side to side. Perhaps you circle out your wrists here. Drawing the wrist in one direction and swapping it out to the other direction. And then when you're ready, bringing the hands towards the ground again, lifting the hips high. Just keep the feet where they are. Start to transition the weight into the right foot. You're going to take your left foot behind and then off to the side of the right. See if you can place the outer edge of the left foot down, sink low into your hips. So you want to be feeling quite a strong opening through, depending on which hips are feeling quite tight. Another option here is to place the left hand towards the ground and then sweep the right hand high. And that's going to just open and stretch the side of the hip even more. And then bring the hands back down. Step back with your left foot. Take the right foot behind and then towards the left side of the mat. Come onto the outer edge of the right foot. Either just staying here and bending down into your legs, or you can take the right hand towards the ground and take a big breath in to sweep the left hand high. I feel this quite strongly within my left hip here. And then bring the hand towards the ground. Bring the right foot in. Just bring it into the center, then meet the left with it. Soften the knees. Take a big breath in. Bring the hands to the shins, halfway lift. As we exhale, fold forward. Draw the chin in towards the chest. Inhale to rise. Lift the arms, lift the eye gaze. And then exhale, bring the hands to heart center, perhaps close down the eyes. We'll take a few moments here. Tap into your energy. You might like to ask yourself again, what do I need? And how can I give that to myself? We'll try a few slow rounds of Surya Namaskar. Use your next in-breath to sweep the hands high, lift your eye gaze, squeeze the glutes, then exhale, bend the knees, fold forward to Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Adho Uttanasana, engage through the core. As you exhale, bring the hands down, step back into your plank. Hold here for an in-breath. As you exhale, either bringing the knees down or staying up, bend the elbows, chaturanga, come all the way down to your belly. Untuck the toes. Inhaling, baby cobra, squeeze the glutes. As you exhale, press up onto your knees, tuck onto the toes, lift your hips up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a few breaths here, spread the fingertips wide, press back into your heels. Find your breath again. We're going to do a slow walk up towards the top of the mat. But what we're going to do, take your right heel in front of the left toes. Ground down into that right heel with as much bend in that right knee as you need. Then take the left foot in front of the right. Bend the knee. Tilt your pelvis forward. Take a few more steps like this. We're going to try lift the hips as high as you can so you're opening down the back of the hamstrings. We'll meet at the top of the mat. On your next breath in, halfway lift. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale to rise, sweep the arms with the eye gaze. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands by the sides, Tadasana. One more time. Inhale to rise. Lifting your energy high and then exhale to ground it. Rebound into your halfway lift. As you exhale, root your hands down towards the ground, step back into your plank. Hold here for an in-breath, shift the weight forward. As we exhale, bend the elbows close to the body. Option to stay halfway. Inhale, baby Bhujangasana or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Squeeze the glutes. As you exhale, come up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take another breath. Feeling your attention ground in the present. Take that slow walk up to the top of the mat, using one breath per step. And perhaps taking it a little bit slower than what you feel comfortable with. We tend to want to rush things because we don't like to be in quiet with ourselves. When you're ready, just fold forward at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, fold again. Inhale to rise, lift the arms, lift the eye gaze. Palms touch and then hands by the sides, Tadasana. We'll have a slow round of standing postures, of standing asanas each side, and then we'll head down onto the ground. Start by transitioning the weight into the left foot. Take the hands around the right knee, clasp the hands and draw the right knee into the chest. Option here, if you can reach, is to clasp the hands around the opposite elbow. This is quite strong, so if you don't meet, that is okay. Let's take one more breath here. Maybe a little lean back to open through the left hip flexor. If you've got the hands clasped on the opposite elbows, keep them there. Release the knee. Take a long step back with the right foot. Turn the toes out 45. Find your warrior one, but our hands are going to be clasped around opposite shoulders. Giving yourself a little hug, a little squeeze. Try turn your hips towards the front of the mat. Engage through the back leg. Left knee is bent. Draw the hips towards the ribs so we're not overarching through our lower back. Bend a little bit deeper on that left leg on an exhale. One more breath. And then start to lengthen through the left leg. Take the hands behind you this time. Few options. You could clasp at opposite elbows. If you wanted to try find reverse prayer, bring the hands together, elbows wide. Take a big breath in. Soft bend in the left leg as you exhale, tip forward for your Parsvottanasana, your intense side ankle pose known as pyramid pose. Spine is long here. You might not even be tipping that far forward. If you do have the reverse prayer, try press the palms together, especially the thumbs. Take one more breath. Release the hands if you have them. Draw the right hand towards the ground. Come up onto the right toes. Big breath in to sweep the left hand up. Exhale to revolve the shoulders towards the left. Drop the hips down low. Pivot towards the right. Draw the right heel in. Both toes turn out. Wide squat. Try sink low here. Maybe a little shift from side to side. Feels good. Keep drawing the pelvis under, ribs in, shoulders are open. And then start to lengthen through the legs. Turn the toes in, heels out. Big breath in through the spine. As we exhale, start to tip from the hips. Prasarita Padottanasana. Soft bend in the legs here. See if you can shift the weight forward into your toes if you know they're quite far back into the heels. And that just gives you a bit more space to tilt your pelvis forward. If you notice that your head is touching the ground, kind of like mine, just walk your feet in a little bit more, and it just makes it a bit more challenging. Likewise, if you're super far off the ground, see if you can take your feet a bit wider. Maybe closing down the eyes if that feels good. One more breath. And then start to walk towards the left foot again. Frame out the left foot, tuck onto the right toes, either sending yourself back into a downward facing dog or sweep the left toes high, three-legged dog. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, ground the left foot next to the right if it was lifted. Roll through your spine on an in-breath. As you exhale, bend the elbows close, chaturanga. Inhale to open, draw the heart space through. As you exhale, come up and back, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. On your next in-breath, let's walk up towards the top of the mat. Normal speed this time. Bring the feet together or slightly apart. Exhale, fold forward. Inhaling, halfway lift. As we exhale, fold again. Inhale to rise, lift the arms, lift the eye gaze. Maybe baby back bend. Exhale by the sides. Let's try that one more time on the other side. Start to shift the weight into the right foot. Draw the left knee into the chest, either clasping the hands around the shin or maybe opposite elbows are clasped with the hands. See if you can lift up tall. So press through the right heel. One more breath. And then when you're ready, let's take a long step back with that left foot. Hands stay where they are. Turn the toes out, heel in slightly. Start to shift the arms up a little bit further so you're clasping at opposite shoulders. Keep trying to draw that left hip forward, right hip back, engage through the core by drawing the ribs in. One more breath, see if you can deepen on the exhale. And start to sweep the hands behind you. Lengthen the right leg, finding either the clasp with the hands or the reverse prayer. Or you can bring your hands down towards the ground. Take a big breath in to lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, start to tip forward. Soften the right knee joint so we're not locking it out. Draw the left hip forward, right hip back. Shoulders pull back as well, so we're open through the chest. Let's take one more breath. And then bring the left hand towards the ground. Big breath in to sweep the right hand high, twisted lunge. Exhale, can you twist a little bit deeper? Drop the hips slightly. Inhale to rise, turn towards the left. Draw the left heel in, toes out. Exhale, wide squat. Option here to take the hands behind the back into a clasp and then pull the knuckles down. If you are taking this option, see if you can encourage the ribs to draw down slightly so we're not over flaring through the upper body. One more breath, see if you can deepen. Start to lift, turn the toes in, heels out. Maybe you keep the clasp with the hands if you have it. Big breath in to lift. As you exhale, fold forward. If you have the hands clasped, see if you can draw the knuckles forward. Keep trying to lengthen through the spine, using your breath into, perhaps even lift up a little bit. And then use your exhale to dive even further. Let's try one more breath. Release the palms if you have them. Turn towards the front of the mat. Frame out the right foot, tuck onto the left toes. Use your next breath in to either step back to down dog or sweep the right toes high. As you exhale, find your downward facing dog. Eye gaze in between your feet. Use your next breath in to roll yourself forward into your plank position. As you exhale, bend the elbows close towards the body. Inhaling to open. Exhaling, Balasana. Knees down, hips back. Moment to recuperate. And just notice where your mind is at the moment. And be kind, be gentle with yourself. Our body and our mind don't like to be forced into doing things they don't want to do. It's that desperation that puts them off. And so we need to be loving. And showing our mind all the amazing experiences that we have when we are in the present moment, when we just are within the body. How much more free we feel. Let's start to slow things down again. Use your next breath in to roll yourself up through the spine. Find your way through your tabletop position, but then start to draw the hips down and then your chest down. Take the left hand out towards the left side, right hand by the rib, draw the right toes high, and then use your breath to start to roll yourself over, pressing through the right hand to take the right foot behind the left thigh. Left hand is still out towards the side for a chest stretch. If you find any pinching through the upper back or the chest that doesn't feel good, you can bring the left hand up above you so that your ear is resting on your arm. Likewise, if you wanted to feel more and you don't, see if you can wiggle your hand up a little bit higher. Can your right knee reach away even further? So you're finding a big twist through the spine, as well as an opening through the hips. Let's try one more breath here. And find your way back through center. Bring the hands in, press up onto your knees, tuck onto the left toes, draw the right knee into the right wrist. Right foot comes somewhere up the side of the left mat, up to you where it feels best. Take a big breath in to lift. As we exhale, let's fold into our pigeon pose. So if the right foot is a little bit closer to the hips, it makes it a little bit more accessible. If you wanted to deepen into this asana, try take your right foot a little bit higher towards the top of the mat. We want to try square the hips as much as we can here, so drawing the left hip down. Let's take one more breath in this position. Now you can absolutely stay here if this feels best for you. If you wanted more of a open variation where we open through the back body, see if you can walk yourself up. So bringing the hands either out in front of you or maybe by your sides, just trying to lift yourself up as tall as you can. Again, keep trying to pull that right hip forward the left hip forward, right hip back. Another option here, if you would like, is to draw the left knee up. Maybe the left hand clasps the foot. So the left foot comes up, just for a quad stretch. And this turns into a bit of a opening for the back. If you wanted more of a back bend, you could take the right hand around. One more breath wherever we are. If you have the foot, let's release it. If you're on your elbows still, come back up onto your hands, tuck onto the left toes, lift yourself up, and find your way back into your downward facing dog. Just pedal out the feet slightly here. And then roll yourself forward, and then find your way back onto your belly. We'll try that on the other side. So let's start by extending the right hand long, turning the left toes high, left hand comes by the ribs. Take a big breath in to lift. As you exhale, can you rotate so that the left foot plants behind the right thigh? Left hand is pressing on the ground to revolve the left shoulder, left knee back. Can you imagine like the outer edge of your elbow is trying to touch the ground? So revolving the elbow back. And what that's going to do is it's going to open the arm in the shoulder socket, so the chest is more prominent here. And breathe into any feelings of discomfort here. Let's take one more breath. And then find your way back through center. Slide the right hand by the chest. Just come up onto your knees, tuck onto the right toes, and send the left knee up to the left wrist. Okay, wiggle the right foot back slightly, pull the right hip close towards the left foot. Use a breath in to lift up. As you exhale, walk yourself forward. Maybe the forehead comes down onto stacked wrists, although if you have a pillow or a blanket nearby you'd like to pop yourself up on, then please do. The more relaxed you can be, the better. Keep connecting your mind to your breath. Making space in your mind so you can observe whatever comes up without any judgment. And if this feels really good, I encourage you to stay down here. If you wanted to try more of a back bend or a quad stretch, then start to walk yourself up again. Again, you could just stay with the hands down, pressing yourself up slightly. If you feel any pinching through the back, please come down again or find yourself in a position that feels comfortable. You could stay here. You could start by bending the right knee. Maybe the right hand comes around to clasp at the foot. Maybe the left hand comes around. If you do have the right hand around, see if you can draw the right shoulder forward. Another option is to try and find a mermaid by tucking the right elbow into the elbow crease. Again, try to breathe into this pose. It tends to be quite intense, lots of sensations going. And releasing any excessive or unnecessary holding on an exhale. Take one more breath. And then if you have the right foot up, let's release it. If you're on your elbows, come back to your hands. But we're going to swing that right foot around this time. So both legs are out long in front of us. If you need to wiggle your knees a little bit here, please do. Take a big breath in to lift up tall. As you exhale, walk yourself forward into your Paschimottanasana. If you need, bend your knees a little or a lot. Draw the chin in slightly. Keep using your breath in to reach the crown of the head forward. Use your exhale to deepen, diving the heart perhaps a little bit closer towards the legs. I'll stay here for a few rounds of breath. If you notice that you're clenching onto your teeth, can you release them away from each other? Relax the jaw, relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Relax the eyebrows. Let's try one more intentional breath where we use our inhalation to puff up and lift. Use your exhale to deepen. Beautiful. Start to walk the hands back. Come forward on your mat slightly. We will be heading down onto our back, so if you wanted to put on something warm or even just find a blanket nearby for a Savasana pretty soon. Let's roll down through the spine. Bring the feet towards the hips, hands come by the sides. Use your next breath in to find your way back into your Setu Bandhasana. So lifting the hips, squeezing the glutes. Maybe this time you clasp the hands behind the back. If you do this, can you rock up high onto your shoulders? Draw the ribs in slightly. And then releasing the hands if you have them clasped. Slowly lower down your spine. If there's any particular asanas that you would like to finish your practice on, then please go for it. I'm going to finish how we started with drawing the knees up into the chest. You might notice if there's a little bit more space that you have made. Maybe the hands come a little bit higher up the forearm. Maybe this turns into a happy baby. I'm going to take my fingertips around my big toes, but maybe you take your hands around the outsides of the feet or the thighs or the calves. See if you can draw the knees down towards the ground, press the heels away from you. And perhaps you'd like to extend one leg and maybe extending the other. And we'll just finish with a simple twist, although if you are ready for Savasana, please take as much time as you need in that. Otherwise, take the right hand towards the side, stack the knees on top of each other, and then draw them over towards the left. Eye gaze down the right hand, right shoulder plants down. If you wanted a little bit more, you could extend the right leg out long, perhaps your left hand clasp onto the foot or the shin. Bend your right knee as much as you need if you are taking this variation. And then we'll find our way back through center. Let's find the other side. So dropping the knees over towards the right. Perhaps you look down the left. If you want that extra variation, taking the left heel out long. And then just finding your way back through center. We'll head into our Savasana. So find a position that feels really comfortable. Again, if you've got something that you would love to bring into this practice, like a blanket or a pillow underneath the head. Although I will warn you, it's very easy to fall asleep if you do that. I have done that before. Perhaps it's a good thing. It's a sign that your body might need to rest a bit more. Using this time as a way to be in the body, be in the breath. Trying to be as easeful as we can with our mind, letting thoughts flow in easily and letting thoughts flow out easily, just like a river coming down the side of a mountain. It just keeps flowing, nothing is stopping it. Feel into the whole of the back body on the ground. Notice the different points that it touches. And then see if you can release, just melt your whole body into the earth beneath you. No need to perform, no need to hold excessively. Giving yourself the space to be at ease with your body and your mind. I'll be here for a couple of minutes of quiet. If you had time to lengthen the Savasana, even head into a meditation, or if you notice that you're feeling really tired and you need some sleep, just notice that and allow yourself to give yourself what you need. If you are ready to transition out of this practice, just start by making some small movements, maybe wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers, and then turning this into any bigger movements if that feels good. Maybe even deepen your breath here. In your own time, in your own way, we'll find our way into a seat. Closing down the eyes once we've landed here. And just asking the same question that you did at the beginning of the practice. What do I need? It will probably be a little bit different from the beginning. But see if you can make a commitment to yourself that after this practice, once this video ends, that you take some steps to fulfill these things that you need. And don't worry about anything else. Although if there's something that's really urgent, then you might need to go do that. But come back to yourself. And it will mean that the things that you do attend to in the rest of your day will become more thoughtful, more intentional, brighter, more vibrant. But you need to fill up your cup first. Let's bring the hands to heart center. Anything you'd like to give thanks to. And let's bow our heads in honor of this yoga practice, for showing up, for giving ourselves some time, some energy to just be. And I thank you for staying with me and being here. Namaste.